Welcome to week 6 of virtual sewing. This week we are going to learn about pre-cut squares, all the different sizes that they come in, what you can make with them. We're going to talk about the materials used to make a pincushion or ornament, depending on what you want. And we're going to talk about the pinwheel block that is used to make this ornament or pincushion, and what else you can make with it. Pre-cut squares come in 2.5 inch. So they're 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch. This is the smallest kind, and they're called mini charms. Then they come in 5 by 5 inch squares, and they're called charm pack. Now there's also a 10 by 10 square. I don't have any to show, but they're the biggest. They're the biggest pre-cut squares, and they're known as layer cakes. Pre-cut squares can be found at local quilt shops. They have the 2.5 inch squares, the 5 by 5 squares, and the 10 by 10 squares at all the local quilt shops. They also come for different holidays, like this one's Halloween, and my bigger squares are Christmas. So for this project today, we're going to be using the 2.5 inch squares. For this project, you're going to need 12 of the 2.5 inch squares. You can cut your own 2.5 inch squares or use them from the mini charm pack. In a mini charm pack, you will get 3 pinwheel ornaments or pin cushions, depending on what you want, out of 1 pack. You need 12 of those. If you want to make it into an ornament, you are going to need a ribbon scrap for the top. And you're going to sew, or I like to hot glue, a button in the center of your pincushion or ornament. Now this can also be, today we're going to be making it out of Christmas fabric, but you can also, if you want to use it as a pincushion, you can make it out of, like I have the Halloween fabric, or these flower ones I have left over from a pack that I can make this out of. Either way it works. And you're going to need a handful of polyester stuffing. Since this project is created by the Fat Critter Shop, and since they created it, they actually have a video that shows you how to sew and build this pin cushion and the pinwheel block inside. So I am not going to take you through the sewing portion of it. And they actually on their website have written directions for this, and they have a really nice picture that shows you the pinwheel block and how to iron it and pin it in place. I created a bigger version of the block so that it was easier to see. So I followed their picture and I created the bigger block. Now I plan to take my bigger block and make 4 and sew them together. And I don't plan on making a pin cushion because this would be too big to do that with. But you can definitely make the block and then decide you want to make something else with it. Like you could make the bigger ones and make it into a pillow cover, a table topper like I'm going to do, whatever you want. You can even do the mini ones and do a tabletop topper, do the little block. I mean, even this would be a cute little, even if you don't hang it on a tree, you could hang it on a doorknob. I mean, they're definitely great gifts. So, I've pinned in place another block. So if I was to look at this picture, I would have my squares. And this is the same thing you'll do with the little squares. I already pinned my other blocks in place, but I'm going to take one apart to show you how the folding works. So, you have a square. You're going to fold your square wrong sides together. You're going to take one end of your square and bring it to the top point. That's how you make the pinwheel portion. Then, you're going to look at this picture. I'm going to make sure I include it in the description for this video. And they also have it on their website that I will post. And the Fat Critter Shop has their video, which all describes all this, and they show you how to do it. But you're going to follow along with this picture to see where you place it. So I place it here for the first one, and I just put a pin. Then you're going to continue to do that. See here, the second one matches up like this. The third one goes like this. And the fourth one goes like this. And now you're just going to put them right sides together, stitch 1/4 inch, and then it'll come out and it'll be sewed. And then you can do the top row and then the bottom row and then stitch them in the middle together. That's how you'll do that. You'll do the same thing with the mini squares. The same thing with these. I'll show you with the little squares too. So we're going to take little square, fold it with wrong sides together, fold the little corner, and see, these are so much smaller, so for the first one they're definitely a little bit harder to work with, so that's why I use the bigger ones. And plus you can definitely see the pinwheel a little bit better. But for this project you have to use the little ones, or I guess you can make a giant pincushion, but that's how you'll fold it, just like that. And then you'll do the same thing even with your tiny squares. So if my tiny square was here, I would put this piece here, and then you would make your pinwheel like that. Then you can keep stitching these together and, you know, make whatever you want with them. It's just a fun block to know how to do, even just aside from the project. That's it for this week. This is the last week so far of virtual sewing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and I'll be happy to continue. Thanks for watching. Bye.